Hi everyone, and welcome to another hashtag Webinar Wednesday, where today we will be covering the bits of overnight travel, alternative accommodation, and other odd bits. So this will just be a 20-minute presentation. And for the demonstration of the webinar, some features that you may see will not be in your package, so you don't have to worry about that. It's just depending on what package you have, some elements may not apply to you. Right, so my name is Megan, and I am an onboarding and training specialist at Wetu. And if you do need any additional information or additional help, you can always feel free to contact us whenever you feel the need to. Right, so let's get started. On your dashboard, you will then be going to the itinerary builder for your itineraries. So this is where we will cover all of the topics for today. So depending on what itinerary you would like to build, there's personal and sample. For the exercise today, we will be covering a personal itinerary. And depending on whether or not you have already built this itinerary, you will either need to create a new one or edit one of your existing itineraries. All right, so I am going to be editing a Cape Town to Vic Falls itinerary. So everything that we will be covering today is inside of the Accommodation tab and inside of the Route Builder. So you'll need to click on tab 2 to get started after you've filled in your necessary itinerary details on page 1. All right, so the first topic that we're going to cover today is overnight travel. So to add in overnight travel, you can either click at the top or at the bottom or in the middle, depending on where you would like to add your overnight travel in your accommodation page. So basically the purpose of overnight travel is for when your clients are traveling from overseas or from another country, you can add overnight travel in your itinerary just to make sure that your dates are correct and make sure that your dates match up with your nights. So what I've done was I just added in overnight travel at the beginning of the trip for when the clients fly in, and then at the end for when they fly back out again. So then depending on how many nights of travel, you can adjust it to as many nights as you'd like. So for this one, I am just going to leave it on 1 night. And then in the route builder, this is where it will ask you to add in their start and end location. So for this example, we'll just have them fly from Dubai and then they land in Cape Town. So then what it does is it will populate the start point of your day to when you arrive. And then on the mode, you'll just have to change that to a flight. Right, depending on whether or not it's a direct flight, you can add in some more legs, and then you'll complete the rest of your itinerary in the middle as per usual. And then on the last night, when they fly back home, you can add the start and the end point. So because this accommodation is in Victoria Falls, they'll be flying from Vic Falls Airport. And then we'll add a leg in here to have them fly to Johannesburg. That will be scheduled. And then from Johannesburg, they'll just fly back home to Dubai. All right, and then you'll see on your map as you start building your route, the map just builds itself. Okay, and you can add some additional details into here depending on what details they've provided to you. Okay, another cool feature on the map is automatic map view and custom map view. So because you have some travel that goes quite far out, the map will zoom itself by default to see all of the travel. But if you just want the map to focus on where they are actually flying, you can do a custom map view, and that will be the first section that they see when they open up their map on their itinerary. So that was overnight travel. The next topic that we will be discussing today is alternative accommodation. So you can add in as many alternatives as you'd like. The purpose of alternative accommodation is if your clients are maybe not sold on the first property that you have added in for them, you can add in some alternatives as suggestions. And then you can add as many as you like, and these will just appear in your accommodation tab of your itinerary. Right, the next topic would be own arrangements. So own arrangements also gets added like the overnight travel. You can add it with the plus sign. So depending on if a client has maybe booked or arranged a section of the tour for themselves or by themselves, they maybe want to stay at a friend's house or book an Airbnb for the first couple of nights when they land. You can add that as own arrangements. And then again, this is also just to make sure that your dates are correct in your itinerary. So if they are landing in Cape Town, you can either specify the area that they are staying in, or if you do know the actual accommodation, you can also then just add that in there. And then again on the route builder, for your own arrangements, the system will just ask you to add in a start and end location. So if you do know that, then you can add it. Otherwise, if you don't, then you can also choose to leave it out. All right, so that is own arrangements. And then depending on where in the itinerary they are staying, you can add it in either section. Right. So the next topic would be reverse itinerary. So this is a feature on your accommodation section that allows you to just flip the order of the accommodation. So if you have by accident added the accommodations in the wrong order, you can then just reverse the itinerary in the corner. So if you have added in any routing in the route builder or any activities or notes in the planner section, that will then be removed and just replaced with the default routing. So if you do happen to click on reverse itinerary, you'll see that the route builder just defaults back again. And then you can reverse the itinerary to put it back in the original position. All right, if you don't want to reverse the itinerary, but you just maybe want to move a couple of things around, you can drag and drop in this tab. So all you need to do is just hold on to the letter and then move it up or down, depending on where you want to place it. Okay, and then the last little item up for discussion on the accommodation tab would be your dates. So if you have a look at the additional details tab, you will see that if you don't have dates in your itinerary, that there are no vouchers to generate, and there is also no option for the mobile code. So as soon as you do add dates into your itinerary, then those options will become available to you. So now that we've added dates, we can have a look and see in our additional tab that we are able to then just download the vouchers and also have access to the mobile code to allow your travelers to have their itineraries while they travel. All right. So now that all that is done, we can have a look at what it would look like on the output. And enter. So now you'll see on your overview tab that you have overnight travel for 1 night, your own arrangements in Cape Town for 1 night, and then again your overnight travel at the end for 1 night. And if you have added all these details in, you should be able to see it on the map as well. Right, and that is all for today. Hope you enjoyed this session. If you do have any questions or queries, please feel free to send us an email when you have the time. Thank you very much, and hope you have a great day further.